take care of yourself so that you can live long and live happy. And our upcoming book, the next series on the power of mentorship, we go further in depth. So
Okay.
there's a lot of goodies waiting for them on how to take care of themselves.
Very good. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
on the show
again.
again. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to Powerful Latinas and PowerfulLatinas.com. Stay with us. This is the right place. Welcome back. I'm so glad to have you back here. We're talking with a brand new guest. Have you heard of PowerfulLatinas.com? Well, you will now. My guest is Aurelia Flores. She created PowerfulLatinas.com. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
It's too bad we had to go all the way to New York when you're just in San Diego for us to
right.
meet. When we could have made a phone call and met.
That's right.
But it was great to meet you and find out with what you're doing. So tell everybody what PowerfulLatinas.com is all about.
Sure. So what I do is I do an interview series. I interview a different amazing woman every single week, and we talk about her story, kind of her life story, her lessons learned, words of wisdom, basically to give inspiration, growth strategies, avoiding pitfalls to other women.
Okay. And how did you come up with this idea?
Well, you know, I was a single teenage mother myself, ended up going to Stanford Law School and, you know, really trying to find my own way with not having a lot of role models, a lot of mentors. And I thought, you know, I really wanted to gather together a group of stories of women who had done amazing things and offer that to other women, and particularly young women as well. So that's how I came up with that.
So when you're there, I mean, you know the power of mentorship and how mentorship is so important. I just believe that it's the fast track. So you're able to give this to other people. So tell us about some of the people that you've already been able to interview in just a short period of time.
Well, it's interesting. Every single week I learn something new. My guests are amazing, and I fall in love with every interviewee that I have on the show. And I would say that they are so entrepreneurial. They're so amazing, and the mindset and the mentality and the attitude is just comes through every week on you know, how to make yourself successful, and it's really about how you place your focus and what you do.
Okay, so coming from a young woman, you know, look back when
Sure.
you were a young woman, you were
Yes.
just becoming a mother, you were just, you know, trying to figure out what you're going to do. What were some of the things and the information that you, I know you had to crawl to find it and dig to find it, but the information that you came across that you feel really made some big differences for you?
Sure. Well, I think, you know, really asking for help. I think a lot of times you don't even realize you can ask for help. You don't know what to ask for, but just putting that out there and asking for help, telling people what you want to do and saying what you need is a huge thing, especially for women who think, you know, wait, I don't have the resources, I can't do this. Well, put it out there and ask, because it's really likely that somebody in your network is going to know, or somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. And I think that that is something that's been really useful for me, is just knowing, wow, if I just put it out there, if I just ask, more than likely somebody's going to have information for me, and then using those resources. That's the other thing. It's asking for that help and then really using those resources, because there are a lot of resources out there that people don't know about.
Okay. And what do you think really was your frame of mind when you decided, I know I'm going to have this baby, but I'm still going forward and I'm still going to college? What helped you have that attitude as opposed to, oh, well?
You know, it's funny. My mother actually says that my son was the best thing that ever happened to me, and of course she's right. My son was actually the impetus for that. You know, I think as a teenager, a lot of times young women are somewhat directionless. They don't know exactly what direction they're going to go, and my son was really the one who focused me. Being a mother, knowing I had to take care of him, knowing that I was responsible for him, really got me to decide, okay, I need to clean up my act and I need to really focus on where I want to go. And then that's going to take some work.
Okay. And you had a family that was supporting, not necessarily knew exactly what to do, but they were supporting you in terms of, yeah, go do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, both my mom and also my son's grandparents on his dad's side, and that whole extended family structure was very supportive, and I was very, very lucky.
Okay, so tell us how it felt to walk up there and get your law degree.
Well, it was quite an accomplishment. I felt wonderful, and I just felt so blessed. I actually walked across the stage with my son, knowing that he was the one that got me there, and just really feeling so blessed for so many people that had really contributed to that, and knowing that it wasn't me alone. It was really a group effort.
Now, we all have, on our way through professional school, we all have that little dark period. And it's the time when, I don't know for you, for law school, but I know in medical school, some people decide they don't want to be a doctor, they want to do something else. People drop out, things just changed. I don't know for lawyers if it's a second or third year, but you know, that tough year. What did you say to yourself to keep moving? What else did you, I know your son kept you going, but you know, when you're facing that one more test and you're thinking, you know, I could leave and have a job tomorrow.
Right.
Not have to be in school too.
I think, you know, I think it was the possibility, really. You know, I didn't know what was out there, but I knew there was something better, and I didn't want to settle. So I think it's kind of knowing that that possibility is there, and then just putting one foot in front of the other, right? During those down times, you just keep moving.
Keep moving,
you
that's
keep
it.
moving, yeah. And it's not always fun, and that's okay. You don't always have that motivation or inspiration, you just keep going.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So tell us about some of the people who've gotten to be on, lucky enough to be interviewed on PowerfulLatinas.com.
Oh my goodness, they're wonderful. My guests have just been incredible. One of the guests that actually is her transcript right there, Nancy Marmolejo, is a hers is an online business, and I think that's interesting among Latinas because we're starting to have more online businesses. Her business is VivaVisibility.com, and so she works with other women talking about how to really create their brand, how to get their story out there, their special message to the world. So that's one of the guests I've had on. Cristina Perez, who is the healing judge. You might have heard of her. She's Emmy Award-winning TV show Christina's Court.
Right.
I talked to her. Her family are Colombian immigrants, and so she talked about actually her father working to get his medical degree when she was a child.
Wow.
And goodness, I interviewed Maria de Lourdes Sobrino, who is the founder of Lulu's Dessert Corporation, who she is actually the one who came up with the Jell-O in a cup before Jell-O did it.
Right.
She founded that in 1982, and then of course, you know, now we have all heard of Jell-O in a cup, but they'd never done that before.
Exactly.
And that came from her really wanting to share gelatin desserts from her native country of Mexico with people here who had a nostalgia for that and really wanted that. So just women who really found their niche, really found a place in which to give their message, and then wanting to share that with other people.
And the Latino businesswoman market is actually really growing.
The Latina women is the fastest group of small business owners. I always have a little bit of a hard time saying that. But Latina women are the fastest growing group of small business owners among all other populations in the U.S., which I think is really interesting. And I think it also comes partly from a cultural background. Yeah.
And also too, you know, business, I love entrepreneurs, and I love going to school. I'm definitely for going to school. But I love entrepreneurs, and there's so much you can bring when you have a multicultural background that, you know, when you're coming into America, you can have perspectives from other countries, and you get a lot of ideas.
Yes, yeah, and I think Latinas tend to be entrepreneurial by nature, just part of the culture, you know, kind of part of the everyday life. And I tell other people, think about how you can be entrepreneurial in your everyday life. Look for those examples, look for those opportunities, you know, when you're working with your child's Little League group, or when you are, you know, volunteering for, you know, the church, you know, whatever committee to do this or that. Those opportunities to really be entrepreneurial in the everyday life, I think, gives us a lot of experience that perhaps we might not otherwise appreciate. We might take it for granted.
I know, because you meet a lot of people, and I know you do too, and they go, I have this idea, but I don't want to go forward. How do you handle that? I like to shake them up and shake their head around and slap them a few times and say, go for it. No, I don't do it.
Well, you know, when I interviewed Ms. Sobrino, one of the things she said, and she is a lifelong entrepreneur. She started her first business at 18 and had 2 businesses, got married, had a kid. I mean, she just really started her own businesses, you know, sequentially, and now has this fabulously successful business. And one of the things she says is actually, don't leave your day job. Start your job, you know, start your business on the side. Start it and get it going, and at least get your feet wet. Just go. Right? So just go. You've got this great idea. Start something. Get it going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Getting it going, knowing what you want, having a little bit of direction, and also too, what do you feel about changing directions? Because as an attorney, Powerful Latinas and being an attorney are 2 different things.
Right.
So did you change direction? Did you just add it? And how did your family feel about that?
Well, my family is really supportive of all the different things I do, including my son who's in college now.
Wow!
Yeah,
Congratulations!
And he's so much fun because he's like, oh, Mom, we can do this on the on the internet, and let's do this with your website. And he's just really supportive. So they're very supportive. I would say follow your passion, whatever that might be, and that might shift during the course of your life. And I think following your passion gives you so much energy. That was the other thing that I would say with regard to giving people advice when they're like, should I do this? I don't know, I've got this great idea. When you follow your passion, it gives you energy and it allows you to take action that otherwise you might not be able to.
Absolutely, and I think that this definitely is giving you energy. So tell us about the future, 2009, the kind of interviews you're going to be doing, and there may be some people who might want to contact you and be a part of this series.
I would love that. I would love that.
Tell us what you're looking for.
Well, I am looking for amazing women in 2009 who would be willing to share their stories of success, to share, words of wisdom, all of those kinds of things. And people can definitely email me at the website. Every single different month is going to have a different theme for 2009.
Like, tell us some of the themes you're thinking about.
So we're going to have a lot of different Latina archetypes. So every month is going to have a different kind of Latina archetype. So we're going to have La Niña, and La Hermana, and La Coqueta, and La Chismosa, and all of these different kind of archetypes, right? The gossip, and the child, and the mother, and the sister, and all of these different ideas that we have around Latina women. Well, there's light sides and there's dark sides to each of those. So we're going to be exploring those. We're going to have a lot of different statistics on the website. It's actually undergoing a renovation right now, and so I'm looking for people who might be interested in filling any of those roles and being interviewed about their lives and talking about how those roles fit into them.
Well, that is a very, very creative way of doing it and setting things up, because as you teach archetypes, well, I'll let you say it. So teaching archetypes, what does that do for us, and especially for young women?
For young women, I think it gives us more sense of our own identity, right? It has a sense of who we are, and it gives us a sense of self-reflection, because we all have all of those archetypes within us, and it's just sometimes some of them come forward, and sometimes some of them are dormant, and sometimes we need to kick some of them forward, right?
Get them going. Get into gear. Absolutely.
So I think archetypes are fun to play with, because we talk about them amongst women. We, when we're talking about other women, we say, well, she's like this or she's like that. We're seeing a piece of that. We're seeing a piece of that.
Thank you so much for being on the show. We got to do a quick wrap up, but again, you can go to powerfullatinas.com. If you're watching online, you can click and go right through there. You can listen to all of the interviews. You can get downloads and PDFs and really understand some great, great business wisdom. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. I'll see you next time.